Hello, I'm doing more character design with dice. Since Patreon noticed that a lot of the characters I've made are like super filthy rich, I'm doing a humble commoner. How do I do this again? As always, here is my D&D races table. I should probably amend it to include way more, you know, like the short people, but I just don't feel like drawing them. 11. Ooh, Goliath. I don't think I've drawn a Goliath before. I also have an updated gender table that I'm gonna be rolling on. Oh my god. So that's like super masculine man. Hair value, 10. Okay, very dark. Hair length, 1. Very short. Okay, wait. Oh god, I don't know how to draw bald people. I'm kind of scared to ask. Does that mean bald? 2. Oh god, he's bald. Not me immediately Googling how to draw bald people, because I don't do this. Okay, I'm gonna cheat a little because I think I'm gonna struggle way too much with like completely bald. And I'm gonna say that there is at least a tiny bit of like stubble. Plus, his hair is extremely dark, so I think there would be. And I'm just a dirty cheater, okay? Now let's do skin value. 6, which is in the middle but leaning more towards the darker side. I'm looking up how Goliaths are supposed to look. So many of them are just bald. It's kind of crazy how in line my rolls have been to the basic Goliath in D&D. So let's do like his face card. Does he look very kind? 9, yes. So this guy looks very kind. Ooh, does he have facial hair? 19 is a hard no. Wow, okay, he's just completely bald. I was kind of hoping actually that he would have a little bit of facial hair. Is he from Mistwind? Because this is gonna really change what his background and story is as a character. That's a 4, so he is from Mistwind, which makes it a little easier for me because it is a world that I have made, so I don't have to go like searching and researching, you know? Before I get too much into his personality and backstory and stuff, I want to do some of his appearance so I can start to draw. Is he old? 7. He is old. I'm beginning to get a little worried that I'm not going to be able to draw this. But hey, it's 2026, it's time to challenge myself, even if I think this video might not get as much attention because the thumbnail isn't gonna be a really cute girl or something. Does he have a long face as opposed to wide? 10, yes. What about Goliath markings? Are they simple? 14, no. So they're a little bit more on the complicated side. I'm gonna have to get a lot of references of Goliath markings and stuff to try to make this look cool. I don't have really anything that's popping up in my head right now, but we're gonna try to make this work. I mean, it's the whole point of the design with dice videos is the dice randomized stuff, and I have to do what I can with it. I'm starting to get a little worried because I don't have a very exact vision of this guy in my mind yet, but perhaps some outfits might help. Does he have a lot of skin showing? No. Okay, so he's like pretty covered up, which I guess is a good thing for me because I'm not gonna have to draw naked anatomy. Let's do character identity. 81, rogue. Okay. Goliaths are usually like huge people though, and that's kind of like ironic in my eyes of a huge person being a rogue. But rogue can mean multiple things. It can mean like class-wise, this dude is a rogue. He's a thief, he's sneaky, he's, you know, good at lockpicking and stuff like that. Or the second thing that came to my mind is a rogue in the sense of historical romance. God. A rake, essentially, like a playboy, someone who sleeps around. And so I guess I'll ask the dice, which one is it? Does it mean rogue in the sense that he sleeps around? 3? God, this dice cam is not very clear, but that was a 3. So he is just a person who sleeps around. Like, that's his identity. He's not necessarily a thief and stuff. So we'll still get into that later. I want a little bit more of identity, so I'm gonna roll a second one. Fighter, interesting. In Mistwind, I actually haven't really tackled the topic of whether or not there are like competitive fighting sports, and there could be like a coliseum type of thing, or he could just be like a boxing person, like just trying to get by, because he's a commoner, so he wouldn't, I think it's a given that he wouldn't be rich, and that's how he earns his money, is he just like fights in competitions, and even then when he wins, he barely gets anything. Okay, now that we know that he's a bit of a pit fighter, makes me wonder if he uses a weapon. Oh my god, a 1? Extremely yes. Oh god, I'm gonna have to draw a weapon. Is it a big sword? 15, no. Is it a spear? 14, no. All right. Is it a glaive? 7, yes. Okay. What does a glaive look like? Okay, it could be double-sided or one-sided. I'm just thinking something like insect glaive, or I don't know, something like that. He's starting to sound pretty cool. So I know that he's not heavily armored, probably because in order to use a glaive, I'm assuming you have to be a little bit more mobile compared to something else. That's just my assumption. I don't know anything. Now I wish to find out what his name is, so I have something that I'm calling this guy rather than just calling him, you know, this dude. I am familiar, tiny little bit, with Goliath naming conventions. I know that they usually have like a deed type of name, like Dawn Hunter, Forge Breaker. It's usually associated with something they've done in their life. So I'm gonna leave that for later, after we know what his backstory is. But let's get first name, last name. And I'm just gonna use the name table instead of like using a Goliath generator or something. 91 VE. Okay. 21 Draw. DRAH. Vedra. That's already cool. Vedra. It sounds more like a last name. Let's see. Let's begin a new name. 22 EH. I need to get some sort of consonant. 100 Z. 32 Fizi. Fezi. Fize. Zephi. Zifi. Zifi. Zyphi. What about Fez? Just Fez. So it would be Fez Vedra. That's not bad. With what I see in my imagination, kind of feels like it doesn't match him, but he will have another Goliath name that probably will match him more anyway, that he goes by rather than Fez. So I will keep that. Fez Vedra. And now we get into the nitty-gritty of his story. This is the part that I love the most compared to the visual part of these videos. At the time that I'm recording this, I had to actually take a long break from working on this guy because I struggled so much to draw him. But by now I have drawn him, and I gotta admit, I'm not exactly proud of what I drew. You know how there's just some things that you draw and then you're like, ooh, I don't like that. And I don't feel like improving it. Like I don't want to do the brain work of improving it. I didn't want to scrap this character, so I still want to get his story because I think he is very interesting. You know, big Goliath guy is a pit fighter, like what? And I haven't explored that aspect of Mistwind yet, so I have to be transparent and say I apologize for having subpar art. You can kind of tell I didn't give him the same treatment that I did with the other design with dice because I didn't draw him as much. I'm sorry, Fez Vedra, that I didn't like drawing you. I don't want to drive myself into frustration and insanity while working on this video, so I'm just gonna do what I like, and I'm gonna roll his story, and hopefully it's still good enough for you guys, okay? The first thing I'm very curious about after finding out he's a pit fighter and he's a rogue and stuff is he illegitimate? 18, no. And this is pretty important for Mistwind. It changes a lot of the context of who he is as a person. So he's legitimate, so he's not gonna have like the complexes that illegitimate children have about like, you know, feeling like they don't have value in a society that hates them, right? So he doesn't have that. Is he married? 4, yes. Okay, he's married. Does he have children? 11, no. He doesn't have children, but that's an 11. That's like, barely a no, so it could be no, but he wants them. Ooh, I like that. I'm not gonna roll on it because I just like it. Okay. Is he married to a man? Gay? Oh, I got an 18. No. So he has a wife or... Well, actually, let's roll the feminine masculine scale for his spouse, which is a D10. That's a 2, which is a feminine woman. I guess that makes sense because I asked, is he married to a man? I got no. Rolling on this scale had a possibility of him being married to a non-binary, you know, androgynous person, but he is married to a feminine woman. But they don't have children, but he wants them. But I wonder why they don't have children, because he's like pretty old by now. And it's also a little surprising that he doesn't have any children since he sleeps around. Like we've already established that he has slept with a lot of people. And that makes me a little nervous now because he's married and he sleeps around. Was the sleeping around happening before marriage? 6, yes. Has it stopped? Oh my god. 1, yes. Ultra yes, it has stopped. Okay, he is not an adulterer. Thank goodness, because I would have started hating this guy. It makes me think they don't have children, they've been married. Like, I think he's infertile. Like, I just think he can't have children with anybody, but he wants children. I mean, there's always adoption. Is he married to another Goliath? No. Let's roll on the table. I got a 12, which is a hobgoblin. A Goliath married to a hobgoblin? According to everyone else's eyes in Mistwind, this guy, he's just a gray human who is quite large and has like markings on his face. And then his wife is just a red human who is a red human, I guess, and has pointed ears, right? I mean, I guess that would explain why they probably can't have children. I feel like I am down for like half Goliath, half hobgoblin, though. I know that gets iffy with people, so I'm kind of glad they don't have children, because then I don't have to tackle that right now. He wants children. Does he wish to adopt? No, he doesn't want to adopt, but he still wants children. So he's trying to have biological children, and it's just like in vain. Oh god. Okay, so that's what's going on with him and his wife. But what about his parents? Are his parents still alive? Yes, they are alive. Does he have any siblings? That is another nat 1. Super yes, he has siblings, probably a bunch of them. In that case, I'm gonna roll a d10. Oh, but I got a 1. I got like a super yes that he has siblings, but then I got a 1? Doesn't totally make sense, but maybe I could make it make sense. He has 1 full-blooded sibling, but he has, and I'll roll this again, 6 half siblings. From who? His father? I got a nat 20. No, definitely not from his father. So from his mother. She had 6 children, not with Fez's dad. Were they from another marriage? No. 11. No, they were not from another marriage. Was it like... Wait, so I just kind of assumed. Are his 6 other siblings not half, but adopted? 5. Yes, they are. They're adopted. Okay, he has 7 siblings, but he has no children. Where should I take this story? Now that I know the context of his family, I can go ahead and do his motives, and I'll just connect it back. 26, drive, 8, deprivation. What? Why would he be driving deprivation? The deprivation of who? So he's actively working to deprive someone of something. Okay, deprive them of what? I will roll a random word. 25 emotions? He's trying to deprive someone of emotions? Okay, in my brain, this has turned really sad because I thought about his wife. He wants children. They are not having any children, and I think this would make both of them feel pretty bad. It's kind of making me think of Severance. And I'm not gonna elaborate on that. If you know, you know. And so it's kind of like damaging their marriage. His motivation to deprive someone of emotions could be that he's trying to deprive himself of these negative emotions about not being able to have children because he really wants children. But then at the same time, he's like not gonna adopt. Like I don't know if he's considered that, you know? Or he could be trying to deprive his wife of those same emotions as well, where it's like, you know, maybe they're trying to come to terms with it. Maybe he's avoiding it by fighting in the pits and instead just trying to make money so that they could live a somewhat decent life even without children. Plus he's old, so I'm gonna assume his wife is like around the same age as him because I don't really want to do an age gap thing. This is a marriage that is struggling due to the absence of children, and they're both trying really hard to cope with that. Fez's way is to continue fighting in the fighting pits and distract himself in that way. I wonder how his wife feels about him being in the fighting pits. Let's see, is she okay with it? 7. Okay, she is. So she's not like disapproving of it or being afraid for his life or something. She's fine with it. Does she participate in the fighting pit as well? 18. No. Okay. That would have been interesting, but that's fine with me. You know, it does make me wonder, since he slept around a lot during his youth, I wonder if it was driven by a want for children. No. Okay. So he wasn't just like sleeping with anyone and everything just because he wanted kids out of it. He's just that type of guy. I'm gonna roll another motivation. 16. Embrace. 45. Pain. Embrace pain. Well, I guess it makes sense why he's in the fighting pits. He enjoys this very much. He probably gets injured a lot, and he gets a thrill out of it. He loves the adrenaline rush, and I suppose that is like the brain chemistry he needs in order to distract himself from the other pain of not having children. Interesting. Let's do a third motivation. Discourage. 15. Alcohol. Discourage alcohol. Oh my god. I think his wife is an alcoholic. I think his wife is a drunkard. This guy has a tough life. He wants children. His marriage is tense. Not only because they don't have children, but because his wife is turning to alcohol in order to distract herself while he's over here like fighting people for sport. Oh, I feel really bad. I want them to be happy. I don't know his wife's name yet. I'm gonna decide that his wife's name starts with an M. What about Marnie? Marnie Vedra. She's an alcoholic. Okay. You know what? I just realized I didn't roll for his personality. I'm gonna use this table from a YouTube channel called DM Table. I will show it on screen. 97, trusting. 91, and stern. So he is trusting and stern. You know, I'm gonna keep rolling for personality. 29, disciplined. 93, and subtle. It's not really sparking anything in my brain, but I'll jot it down anyway. Stern makes me think that he's very stern with his wife. Like he's like telling her, stop drinking. You know, like he's not like tiptoeing around it, which kind of contradicts subtle, but I'll apply subtle to something else in his life. And then with trusting, I don't know, it makes me think of like gambling in the fighting pits. I'll roll. Yes or no? 6, yes, okay. He's trusting in the way that if someone approaches him with gambling. Like, hey, I've got a huge opportunity for you. If you throw this fight, I'll give you a lot of money. I'll get you matched up with this one person. I don't know. I don't really know how fighting pits work. Yeah, that's what my brain goes to with trusting. I think of it more as he's not a calculating person. He'll just go with the flow because I think he's kind of thinking, what do I have to lose? This is my life in the fighting pits. I'm probably not going to escape it anytime soon. He's disciplined in the way that he probably trains a lot with his glaive, and he's probably quite skilled with it. Let's see. I'm kind of scared to roll on this. Is he skilled with it? 10? Okay. Barely. He is skilled with the glaive, but only because he's disciplined and training. He's not like naturally skilled with it. How could he be subtle? What if he's not like a famous, popular pit fighter? Like he's just a normal, basic kind of no one's really paying attention to what he's doing. He just does it. He doesn't have fame. So he's subtle in that way. God, if you notice, I'm not really super rolling on this stuff. I'm not having a lot of ideas, and if I don't have a lot of ideas, I just kind of tend to go with the flow. I already rolled on the words, so these are my interpretations of them. Oh, was he born in Mistwind? Because this could really add something interesting. 2. He was born in Mistwind. Okay, so he's not like the Duke of Alizarin, who was born outside of Mistwind and eventually ended up here somehow. So he was just born here. I really wonder why he doesn't want to adopt. Is it because like his siblings did not have a good life as an adopted child? No. So it's not that, because I was thinking maybe he doesn't want to adopt since he's seen like his siblings have a bad experience with it. So he's like, I don't want to do that to another child. I don't know. Perhaps he doesn't have a good relationship with his adopted siblings. Oh my God. He really doesn't have a good relationship with his adopted siblings. Does he have a good relationship with his biological sibling? Yes. Oh my God, this guy is just like super duper like anti-adoption. I guess blood is really important to him. Oh my God, oh my God. This is kind of going towards like, I don't like this guy territory, but it's cool to have flawed characters, right? Characters shouldn't always be perfect. Does he not even view his adopted siblings as family? Ooh, this is a tough question. Ooh, I got an 8. That's a yes. He doesn't even consider them family. Wow. I just realized I don't have a Goliath name for him, but then really he wouldn't have one because that Goliath culture isn't really a thing in Mistwind because it's not like he knows he's a Goliath. So his name really is just Fez Vedra. He is married to Marnie. Before I wrap this up, are his adopted siblings older than him? No. Okay. So Fez Vedra was born to his 2 parents and they were probably poor. He experienced having a blood sibling and he views them as family. He has a good relationship with them. And then suddenly his parents adopt 6 kids. I mean, this probably happened gradually, you know? His parents just start picking up what he views as strays. And he's like, why are we doing this? You already have us 2. Why do you want these children who are not of your blood? And so because he has taken this opinion about adoption from a young age, it kind of bottles up. It grows into resentment. He doesn't have a good relationship with his adopted siblings because he doesn't even consider them family. Perhaps he starts to see his parents also in a negative light because of adoption. But he grows up, he starts to sleep a lot with people because he's a rake, and he starts to get into fights in the street. Someone sees this and is like, hey, you want to make some money? I know about these fighting pits. You just fight for sport and we'll give you money if you win, and if you lose, you don't get anything, you just get beat up. Because he's trusting, he's like, you know what? I'll do it. Okay, let's go. And so he begins his career in the fighting pits. And since he's a stern person, I think that translates into his relationship with his adopted siblings, because like I think he's very stern in the way that he interacts with them. Like he's very pointed with his dislike of them. So he's in the fighting pits. Eventually, he meets a hobgoblin named Marnie. They get married, and he stops sleeping with other people. And he's like, I want kids, and I want them to all be biologically mine. No adoption, nothing like my quote-unquote family. They're all going to be mine and Marnie's. I'm not gonna do what my parents did. But then they try, and they try, and they try for years. She doesn't get pregnant, and it's like, what's wrong? What's happening? Why aren't we having children? We want children so bad. He is still adamant in not doing what his parents did. He will not adopt, even though this starts to strain his marriage with Marnie. She starts to drink a lot. He doesn't like that she does, and he's trying to get her to stop drinking, but there's not much he can do about it. She doesn't have a problem with him fighting in the pits, so he goes and he fights to distract himself. He trains to distract himself, and he depends on the adrenaline rush that he gets from fighting in order to distract himself. Even in the fighting pits, he's not even getting fame or, renown. He's just a guy to everyone else. Like, they probably don't even know his name. God, this is really a depressing story. I want to admit that I did approach the roles about adoption with the thought of, oh, this couple can't have children. Why don't they just adopt? I don't have life experiences with adoption, so I'm extremely ignorant in this subject, but I have since read up on why that isn't always the solution, especially when the parents haven't properly come to terms with their infertility. And that's because it becomes more about filling a void for the parents rather than providing a home and family for the child. But that is just stuff that I've read. And obviously this is a character made in a fictional world for D&D, but I think exploring topics like this is what makes characters have substance. In this context, I'm actually glad that Fez and Marnie didn't adopt, or that Marnie didn't just take a child and bring them in to raise them despite Fez's opinions on adoption. Because I think he would cause so much trauma to that child because of his views about biological family versus adopted family. I mean, adopted children already go through so much from the get-go, right? And it also seems to me that Fez's initial desire to have children, specifically biological children, also stems from his experiences having adopted siblings. And that was already not a good start. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, especially if you have experiences with adoption. I know this might be like a heavy topic for some people, so let's just approach this with a light heart and remember to be kind, okay? Like, don't be out here fighting, please. Also, to clarify, I do not think Fez is a bad person for not wanting to adopt, nor is he a bad person for wanting biological children. What makes me go yikes is his treatment of adopted family, how he doesn't see them as like real family, It's almost comically villainous, and no, I'm not gonna change it. I'm not gonna get rid of that part of his character because I think it's okay to have characters whose opinions you wouldn't necessarily agree with. Spill the tea in the comments. Do you hate him? Do you like him? What do you guys think about him? I hope this video doesn't suck. Because, I didn't really like drawing him. I'm gonna once again apologize for not pouring myself into the art, because, I am an art channel, but I'm not gonna torture myself at the same time. I didn't want to waste all the work that I already did. So that was the Goliath pit fighter, Fez Vedra. I will see you guys next time. Goodbye!